Yo, what up, y'all? New York Knicks. So you know what it is? Wednesday night. The Boys Club. We're here. Getting ready to turn up. You know how we do it every Wednesday night at 7:30. So, I'm excited. I hope you are as excited as I am for another great night. Let me get my man Sean present and we can get this thing started. But yo, before I do that, if y'all love what we do, y'all love the Boys Club, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we are on now and we are getting ready to get it popping. 7:30 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night. Rich Dallas, Sean Press, we are the Boys Club. Tell a friend to tell a friend that it's the realest relationship conversation you're going to hear on the internet. We ready. Who said? Who got a Valentine's hickey? What you talking about, girl? Sean, what up?
What up, Rich? Okay, I cut my own head off.
What happened?
Nah, well, the camera was too close to me, so I was cutting my head off.
Oh.
Yo, Rich, what up, son?
Ain't shit. What's the word?
Chilling, chilling. I heard you do the intro, so we ain't got to go through it. Welcome everybody to Wednesday nights. I love these conversations we have. So, like Rich just asked, please, if you like what we do, you enjoy our conversation, please take this time to just tag your friends. Let them know that we're on. Okay, Richie D. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, son. Who was your Valentine?
I know. People are talking about I got a hickey. I just scratched my neck, yo. That is not a hickey. Please, I am damn near 80 years old. Ain't no hickeys on my neck. Nobody is out here doing hickeys at this age. Knock it off, y'all. I was scratching my neck and I'm a red nigga, so that's what happens when red people scratch.
Okay. Yo, did you have a Valentine yesterday?
Nope.
No Valentine.
I had work yesterday. I had my grind yesterday. I'm married to the grind right now, Sean Prez.
Okay.
I'm married to the grind, my dude. But you, on the other hand, what did you and your old lady do yesterday?
Nothing.
Y'all did?
Nothing.
No big
nah,
no nothing?
No, nothing, man. Like we don't do like I'm gonna keep it so real with you. And I know she probably get upset. No, because you know me. I didn't even know it was Valentine's Day. Keeping 100. Real talk. My word to everything. I ain't know. I woke up. She hit me with the Happy Valentine's Day. I was like, oh, word, Happy Valentine. But I ain't really a holiday dude like that. So she
I'm gonna be honest. Me neither. I'm not.
Yeah.
I do it for people. Like if I had a girl, I would do it for her. I do Christmas for her because quite frankly, ain't nothing that nobody can do for me that I can't do for myself. So it ain't nothing that I want at that level that anybody's gonna get me that don't sound crazy, right?
Well, put it this way, even for me, it ain't even so much about getting stuff or all of that stuff. I just think, and I get it. It's once a year, but you don't need Valentine's Day to show how you feel about somebody. And it's as real as I could put it, man. Like if you gotta wait for Valentine's Day to broadcast, how you feel about your significant other, then they shouldn't be impressed with you and you shouldn't be impressed with yourself. Like Valentine's Day is every day, damn near. Okay. Rich, I said we was gonna open the show different, but we can't. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I really if you remember the way we ended last week's show, I was so frustrated because I feel like women are just never honest. Like they do you remember we had about 2-3 callers back to back to back. One woman called in, nice woman, and she was talking about, her man going to see his kid, but really she was pissed off because he was getting close to the baby mama. We had another caller call in, talk about like, yo, if me and my man, if he had just told me he wanted to be F buddies, I would have been good with that, but she read a beautiful poem that she wrote that was all about I'm in love with him. Or, you know, it just is like, why can't women just say what you feel? Like, it's okay. And I said we was going to open up the show and let women educate us. Why are they just not transparent from the gate? Like niggas ain't mind readers. Mm-hmm. But it's so much happening, and there's so much good stuff I want to talk to you about. I'm sorry, ladies. We could talk about that later at a different time. I got to talk to you about. You sent me a couple of things this week, and you was like, "Yo, I'm on fire. Look at all these." And I just got around to looking at them today, and I'm like, "Oh hell no, we got to talk about this." So let's start with Larsa Pippen, right? Because I need to get your opinion on this. Everybody, I'm sure, is familiar with Larsa Pippen, Miami Housewives, all of that. Obviously, her last name's Pippen, so she's ex-wife to legendary baller Scottie Pippen. I'm gonna take this back 2 years ago, just to give people context. 2 years ago, Larsa, who she's 48 today, at that time.
Is she 48 today?
I did my research because I needed to know.
The irony of having this conversation on her birthday. But go ahead.
Oh, no. She's 48. She's 48. Not today, but she's 48. Okay,
got you.
She's 48 years old. Two years ago, and I'm making sure my notes are correct. Malik Beasley used to play for the Utah Jazz. He's 26 now, which at that time, he was 23, 24. She was 46, maybe 45, right? She's dating his brother. At the time, he was engaged. She's a home wrecker. He had a baby with his fiance. She messed all that up. Eventually, he left her, goes back to his fiance. Fast forward, her son, Scottie Pippen Jr., makes the league. He's now playing for Los Angeles Lakers. Lo and behold, a trade happens 6 days ago. Malik Beasley, now 26 years old, he's 26. He gets traded to LA Lakers, and he's playing alongside Scottie Pippen Jr., who is all of 22 years old. What the F? So we got to dive a little deep into this because I need your thoughts on this, Rich. If Scottie Jr. whips this dude out, is he in the wrong? Is Larsa Pippen a smut for even putting her son in this situation? What is your thoughts?
You ever seen that meme with Boosie's daughter, and she's in the back seat of the car, and she like, I told you niggas, I told y'all niggas, I told y'all niggas, I told you this 3 years ago. Shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr. He went to Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay.
So he played where I played. Shout out to him. Greg leaves early, gets drafted by the Lakers. Malik Beasley was banging his mom. Malik was actually in Minnesota playing for the Timberwolves when he was messing with her. He recently got traded to Utah Jazz, and then the Utah Jazz trade with Russell Westbrook, they sent him back to LA. So now Malik Beasley's in LA. Now, with that being said, we knew that this could happen. I told y'all months ago years ago, whenever we had this conversation, I said, he's about to go to the league. Now, I didn't know they were going to be in such proximity. I didn't know that they would be on the same freaking team. I'm just saying, if Pippen was actually made it to the league and was getting run, and you go against the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Utah Jazz, and this nigga is banging your moms, you think that's not a conversation in game? While you at the free throw line about to shoot, and the nigga walk up behind you and be like, yo, your mom get the best head in the world. Yo, that is really, no, for real. Remember when Carmelo and KG was about to fight?
Yeah.
Nigga was like, yo, your girl La La tastes like Cheerios? Like, this shit is real NBA conversations. People will say anything to get under your skin. How do you even combat that? How do you not just drop the ball and start scrapping? When nigga walk by you and be like, yo, your mom head is amazing, my dude. Well, you about to shoot free throws. Like she set that little man up for failure, yo. She set that man up for failure. Not no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a tremendously smut move. She's an old woman, not even old in age years, but old in like if a man did that he's considered pedophile. If a 48-year-old man or a 46-year-old man at that time is dating a 23-year-old, it happens every day. But it's not the same reaction. I saw another meme, Sean, that was Leonardo DiCaprio and his new girlfriend, and then it had Taye Diggs and then it had Jada Pinkett Smith and
August,
the boy from Louisiana, August Alsina. And they were like, what's the difference here? And there was no difference here, except for the caption was, Leonardo DiCaprio is a pedophile and Jada Pinkett Smith is getting her groove back. Now, mind you, Jada Pinkett Smith is a whole married woman. And Leonardo DiCaprio is the new Hugh Hefner. So let's be clear about who they are. He is a playboy. She is a married woman with multiple children that she's raising in a public persona that she maintains with Will Smith. And she is getting her groove back by messing with August Alsina while Leonardo DiCaprio is a freaking pedophile. Larsa Pippen, and I said it to say, people never bashed Larsa Pippen for the age of Malik Beasley. He was an NBA baller. He had his own money. She had her own money. She's Pip's wife. I told y'all this was going to happen, bro. I told y'all this was going to happen, and it is so disappointing that man has to go play ball in a league in which his mom was smashing people that he plays against. That's insane. Not to mention, she's now messing with Mike Jordan's son. Bro, this shit writes itself. These things, like, it ain't even like we hating on Shorty. Shorty, if you like it, I love it. But the same way anybody would say, you have a child. Like, consider your child. Like, parents have been, like, doing right by their children forever. There's a lot of things that you want to do in your life that you can't do because you have a child. So you have to sacrifice some of your own happiness, some of your own playtime, some of your own whatever for the benefit of your child. Scottie Pippen Jr. left Vandy after his sophomore year, which probably makes him around 21 now.
He's 22 now.
Oh, he's 22 now. So
yep.
Come on, like, you still gotta be like cognizant of what you're doing to your son. You're creating an atmosphere to where he is either gonna be the most mentally strong person in the whole wide world, because this is all over the blogs and everywhere. So it's not even like it's a secret and niggas is sneaking around out there and doing their thing. Malik Beasley is out here smashing his boy's mama. Scottie Pippen's beefing with the woman on the blogs. Meanwhile, this boy is trying to have a career in that same world. She did that young man a disservice, Sean. She did that young man a disservice. She should be ashamed of herself. She's a beautiful woman. She is enjoying her life, and nobody can tell her don't. That man went to Vandy. He played basketball. Scottie's rich, and she's got money, and I get all of it. But at the end of the day, put all this social media shit aside. Put all this basketball wives nonsense aside, and just go with the basic fundamental, I am a parent, and I would never put my son in a situation where he was destined for failure. And that's exactly what she did.
Yeah, I mean, look, Rich, you know, men have been sleeping with younger women since the beginning of the time. Men are considered more handsome as they age. They're more established. Wisdom is attractive on a man. And he it's not frowned upon when a man dates a younger woman in the same light as now most recently women dating younger men, right? So we get it. But I want to touch on something you said, because I think it is the only thing that really matters in this conversation. When you become a parent, especially the female, the mother, to a male child, men, I mean, we all know, you know, God bless her soul, my mother meant everything to me. It is damaging beyond description. It is damaging beyond what I could put into words to have your mother smashing niggas that are in your age group. I don't care if society accepts it. I don't care if men have been doing it since the beginning of time. If you are a man-child and your mother is publicly, like publicly, she ain't keeping this on the low. She is publicly laying down and spreading her legs with men who are within your age range. It is beyond disrespectful to her children. Forget to herself. Maybe to her, yo, I still got it going on. I can still get these young boys.
She does. She does.
Correct. But to her children, and see, here's the deal, Rich. When we have children, whether you like it or not, you sign this unwritten contract, right? It's certain things you can't or you shouldn't do anymore. And if you do them, you don't do them in the presence of your children, because children will be what they see. So all that do what I say, not as I do bull crap, that's garbage. Children are judging you based on what they see. And for that woman to violate that contract as a mother, like you're his mother and you're sleeping with friends, like you're sleeping with peers, you're sleeping with like, you can't tell me Scotty Jr. didn't know or doesn't know Marcus Jordan. You can't tell me in all the basketball camps in the world, Scotty Jr. never ever played, you know, before they made the league with Malik Beasley.
Sean, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen played together.
Correct.
Michael Jr. and Scotty Jr. grew up together, and
Correct.
This woman was watching this little boy grow up. She watched him grow up. The Bulls championship dynasty was 90 to 96. Michael retired in 96, I think. So 90 to 96 was the championship window. So what is that now? 33? What is that? So how many years is that?
25, 27,
okay.
somewhere.
So she watched this boy grow up. She was in that man's life when Michael and Scotty was playing together. She watched him from early years as an adult, bro. She's 48. She watched this man grow up. He's 20 years. That's come on, bro.
I mean, the bottom line is this, Rich. The bottom line is this, and I'll just say it. She's disgusting. She's disgusting. And she's not disgusting because she can bet, because it's not about like some things that you can do, common sense should tell you you shouldn't do it. Just because you can do something don't mean you should do it. It's no validation. It's nowhere in the world. Okay, you slept with Beasley 2 years ago. You didn't learn from your mistakes. Now you gonna put your son back in that predicament with somebody he considers family, which is Michael Jordan's son, just because you can do it. And here's the deal, and this is the thing that drives, like, and again, I say this disrespectfully, not with respect to her. Disrespectfully, I say, you're disgusting. You're disgusting to put. She's not disgusting. If she had no kids, go for it. But to play in the same sandbox that your children play in, to put your children in those situations, that is the most selfish woman. She is beyond selfish, and I don't even know her. She's beyond self-centered, and I don't even know her. She is beyond egotistical, and I never met the woman. And I can say all of these things. And here's what else I could say. She's not a good mother. She's not. Because any mother that would, see, as parents, we're providers. We're protectors. We're nurturers. We're going to do whatever we can do to keep our children out of harm's way. You're telling me you're going to deliberately do something that puts your child in harm's way? You're not a good mother. And I don't care what you say. Bottom line, Scotty Jr. can love his mother to death. But she's not a good mother, man. And it's as simple as that. But those are my thoughts on it.
I 100% agree. There's not a retort to that. The reality is exactly what you said. Now, and let's be clear. Take Scottie Pippen out of the equation. You've been married to Scottie Pippen for years. You got divorced. You're trying to get your groove back. You want to get back on a scene. You on a reality TV circuit. You're doing your thing. You meet a young boy. He's in the league. Whatever. It's fun. But I think the whole issue here is with the fact that her son is in such close proximity to everything that's going on. That
is the issue.
Huh?
That is the issue. That's that right there. Anything else is fair game. If she was doing this and somebody lived in Australia and they don't have to ever come in proximity, but these are your children. You protect your children. I don't care what you say. You protect your children. You don't sleep with your kids' exes. You don't flirt with your kids' exes. You don't do none of that. So when I be seeing people on the blogs and just because you can don't mean you should. Bottom line. Nigga, you know where I stand. When it comes to kids, I always feel like they off limits, man. They off limits. You don't put your kids in harm's way. And it's as simple as that. But let's change the subject because we got a lot to go over in a little bit of time, all right? Question for you. Yo, you know, Rich, I'm not really a social media dude. I periodically will get on any of these platforms. Yesterday I was on, and I actually seen, what shocked the heck out of me. I saw a lot of men posting their women. Men were posting their wives. Men were posting their girls. Dudes had, what is that, like the carousel where you gotta switch pictures over and all that? Like people was putting up multiple pictures, and I was shocked. I was like, yo, dudes do this? So here's my question to you. And forgive me, because I just don't know. Is that a real profession of love, or is that the throw off? Because a nigga know, yo, if I post you, I put you out there. So we're good, right? But meanwhile, he got stuff going on the side, but that's a way to keep her quiet. What is that about?
Now, I noticed the same thing yesterday. So I said, yo, this is actually pretty dope. This is
You noticed it
dope.
too? So is that something new, Rich? Because again, I'm not on it like that.
When high profile relationships, they post each other. When people see you out and there's no reason to hide at that point, they post each other. But when we talking about the regular Joe Schmoes and the regular civilians out here that are posting each other and
I was seeing regular people.
And I thought, and to myself, I thought that was dope. So I called my homegirl, and we having the regular conversation. We just talking, and she's like, yeah, let me tell you something. I fuck with 3 dudes today that posted their girls. And I said, no. And then I spoke to a girl. I'm not going to put her out there because she's literally in this room right now. But she said, I fuck with 3 dudes that posted their girls today. And I said, well, does that anger you? And she said, no. She said, the way, and this goes back to what we've always said about 23 relationships, transactional. She said, it's cool because I got my 3 dudes. So I'm not finna trip. That's exactly what she said. She said, I'm not tripping on Valentine's Day. I'm not tripping on Valentine's Day. I don't want to go out to eat with you. I don't want to do this. Nigga, put something in my Cash App. That's what she said to me. She said, yo, Rich, as long as them same dudes that's at Benihana's or Noble or whatever, Root Chris or whatever, they can go and spend their money with their girls and do that. But you better have something in my Cash App, nigga. And I said, yo, you such a G. I said, yo, you a gangster. She said, nah. It's the price to pay. It's the price to play. It's what you do. So now I got my 3 dudes. I can't post no dude. I don't want to be posted because of how I live my life and what I'm doing, how I'm getting my bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and let these niggas live on their day because I am familiar. I know that they have a girl. So I'm not gonna step in their way and mess up that. See, it used to be a time when relationships were about emotion, that you would get angry if you saw a man and another girl. Then that creates conflict because now you with her DMs, now you texting him, now you calling him, now you trying to find her number. See, those were the old days when relationships were about emotion and people cared. Now they're transactional. So now go ahead and eat with your girl. That's cool. It's Valentine's Day. Just make sure that my Valentine's is accommodated. And by me being accommodated, that would be my Cash App, my Zelle, my PayPal. And I'm not saying this as a man. I'm not saying this as a dude who's scorned. I'm saying this because a good friend of mine, who is my friend, told me that this is how it's moving out there. So I said, I'm looking at all these pictures on the gram and these dudes is posting pictures with their girl. She said, yeah, these niggas are safe today. But rest assured, them dudes that's posting them pictures with their girls, them celebrities that's posting pictures with their girls, them regular dudes from the hood that you see posting pictures with their girls, unbeknownst to them women, this nigga just cashed at me $500. And if I see you at Roof Chris, nigga, I better have as much as what I imagine a Roof Chris dinner cost. So don't think you're finna take her to Noble for $400 and $500 for some skimpy ass tuna tartare. You better give me, and this, I'm not lying. She told me. She said, you better make sure in my Cash App, I got all that. If I see you at Noble, I don't want McDonald's in my Cash App. I need to see Noble in my Cash App. And I said, wow, that's some gangster shit. And she said, yo, Richie, I'm just keeping it a buck. And this is what you're seeing out here today. This is today that you're seeing that. I said, yo, that's insane. That's insane.
So if you did not speak to her, I'm talking Sean to Rich right now. You know enough male friends. Is that if she wasn't in your ear, would you say that's the throw off, or would you be like, nah, that's a confident man. That man posting his woman, he really into her.
I can't answer that because I know dudes that's cheating. I know dudes that's cheating that still post their girls. I know dudes that's cheating that still post their girls. So is it the throw off? I guess I don't know if it's confident enough in your girl that you can post her, or is it confident enough in your side pieces that they're not going to come and expose you? So that's the real question: is are you confident enough in your girl and in your relationship that you could post her, or are you confident enough in your side pieces of what you're doing transactionally that you know that they're not going to come and expose you? See, the difference between men and women is men want sex. So if you post, a man will watch a girl be posted or post her man and never say nothing, because he knows if he says something that would jeopardize his standing on her stable and she might forego giving him the box. And then in which case, who really loses, right? Who really loses? If I'm having sex with you and I enjoy having sex with you and you post your man, as a man, I'm gonna be like, damn, that's fucked up. Kind of hurt me in my heart, but I'm not finna say nothing. Niggas normally, under normal circumstances, don't reach out to people. They don't reach out to dudes. Women used to be the ones who would be upset about what's going on and reach out to a woman and be like, yo, that's your man? Nah, it wasn't your man yesterday. So, but now it's transactional. So now the question really is, are you confident enough in what you're doing for your side chick that she's not going to expose you or go in this girl's DMs or roll up and put a note on her car window or whatever the case may be? Are you that confident in what you're doing for these women that it's going to placate them so that they're not going to look at this situation and feel like they need to expose your ass? That's the real question, because posting your girl means the world, but I'm so disgusted with the modern relationship that she's being posted and posting you under the premise that the niggas that she's fucking is not going to say nothing because they want to continue to have sex. And he's posting the women, his girl, because he's confident enough in the girls that he's messing with, he's paying them enough that they're not going to want to ruin that bag. And here we are. Here we are. Everybody's playing each other. Everybody's playing each other.
Yo, it's so crazy, Rich. Man, we live in a different world. I really, and I'm gonna keep it so funky with you. I didn't know how to take it. And to be, if you want to be 100% honest, I was applauding them dudes. I was. Yo, dudes was putting up some nice pictures, like portrait type pictures. Like they actually went and got real pictures taken. This wasn't iPhone. It wasn't, yo, we out in you know, I hand somebody a camera and be like, yo, take a picture of me and my girl. Like they was putting up the whole joint. So I was applauding these dudes, but when I started thinking about it, I was like, yo, I wonder, is that the throw off? Or is dudes really that confident? You know, because once upon a time, you know, nigga didn't want to. You didn't want the world to know you had a girl. Like, yo, I keep my private business private, right? And even if you was fine with them knowing you had a girl, you was still like, yo, I ain't gonna show her. I'm not gonna put my business out there. So like but to see it, I was applauding my brothers. I really was. It's damn near disheartening to hear what you just said. I got no opinion on it, just to keep it 100. I was really just asking you a question.
It used to be a time where you would take your girl out and have fun with your girl, but never want to put it in your next girl's face for emotional reasons. So, and I'm a firm believer in this fact that the way you ruin your relationship is publicize your relationship. The way you ruin your relationship in 2023 is to publicize your relationship. Now, with that being said, all the pictures and all the hotel rooms with roses on the beds and balloons up to the ceiling with the helium and the flowers and all the stuff that niggas was posting yesterday in their moment of proudness because they feel like they did this grand gesture for these women. There's a underlying sentiment that there was another girl 30 miles away who was getting exactly all of those things that I just said, but in monetary value, not in gift.
It's disheartening, Rich. That's disheartening. I hope you're wrong on that one.
And this isn't something coming from me. This isn't something that I created. This was a question I asked because, ironically, you and I had not spoke about that topic.
Okay.
You said it,
Here,
but it just so
here's the
happens
deal.
that I had that same convo.
Here's the deal. Oh, damn, we can't even do that because I was going to tell whoever told you that, call in, just put a camera, turn a camera off. But I guess everybody would see who she is, irregardless. All right, let's switch topics for a second. Got a question for you. And I thought about this based on last week. Can a woman who is highly insecure and highly jealous keep a man? Just hear me out, because I want you to really digest what I said. It's a very simple question. Can a woman who is highly insecure and highly jealous keep a man? That's number one. And if for whatever reason they break up, will a man take her back if she shows just because then it turns to craziness, turns to her wilding out, it turns to her doing things out of character. Will a man take that same woman back? So number one, will he stay with her? And number two, once they break up, if she shows him just how highly insecure and highly jealous she is, will he take her back?
Hold on, you're saying, ask that again. So will a man can a relationship between a man and a woman who is highly insecure and jealous work? Part one. Part two, if they break up and she shows him just how crazy she is, will he take her back?
Correct.
Okay. Good question. 2023 question. Are people our age? Absolutely not. Number one, you can't be insecure, and you can't be, and I'm not talking about industry shit, because you really can't be insecure in this industry. What me and you've been doing for the last 20 years, you can't be insecure in that. Because that's late nights, that's clubs, that's parties, that's travel, that's I'm calling you from such, that's gonna drive you crazy. You'll fucking put a gun in your mouth, right? That's one. I'm talking about a regular person who's highly insecure and highly jealous is not going to be able to have or maintain a healthy relationship. It is going to be tumultuous. It is going to be toxic. It is going to be not peaceful. It is not going to be anything that you can come home to over and over and over again. At some point, that shit gets dumb old. It gets old, bro. As much as you love that girl, it gets old. Now, what I will say, for some odd reason, this generation of people coming up after us like toxicity. They like the toxic relationships. In their mind, and I'm sure there's people in our age demographic that are like that. I'm talking about the 45 to 50 plus people out there. There's some of y'all that like toxicity too. But I'm talking about 38 and below. They feel like she loves me because she acts the way she acts. If she didn't flatten my tires, she doesn't care. If she didn't bust my window out, she doesn't care. The reason Krishan and Blueface are so popular today, do you know who they are?
Of course. Okay.
The reason that they are so popular today is because people are looking at their relationships and they can like It's the same. Okay, I'll fuck them. I'll take them out the equation. I don't want to use nobody's name. The reason Love and Hip Hop was so successful is because it was in a day, in an age group, in an age demographic that was doing the things that were happening on TV. So they 100% related to those actions. They 100% related to Richie and Monique, or Richie and Erica, or Stevie and Jocelyn, or Kirk and Rashida. Like, those are things that were resonating with them, which made them show so popular. And take it to 2023, the same thing with Krishan and Blueface. Those things that we couldn't fathom, things like, yo, you bust my tires, you bust my windows, I'm never speaking to you again. We never have to speak again. You act a fool in my car, you do something stupid in my house. Number one, I'm fearful of my freedom. Because all it takes is for them people to come knocking on that door, and y'all in here fighting. What's happened? What's going on? Oh, he hit me. I'm gone. I gotta go sit down for some nonsense. So our people were so fearful of those type of things happening that they would step away. And when I say our people, I mean 45 and up. People below Sean, they like it. They like it. That's how they show love. And I don't know if it's this whole big thing about single parent homes and what happened with the father left and what happened when the mother left, and kids are being raised by mothers and being raised in abusive homes and all of these different sociological things that can contribute to that. But the reality is, and from what I see today, people will go knock down, drag out, tear the fucking club up, fight, pull guns, stab, and be back together. And I've seen it. I've seen it so many times that I almost want to call it the norm. Toxicity is so normal today that is almost a fucking badge of honor. If your girl ain't punched you in your face when you did something stupid, or if you ain't smacked your girl, then y'all don't love each other. And I look at the kids now and be like, you can use my daughter. Like, I love my daughter, but I'm never gonna act like I'm gonna preach to a choir and not speak my truth. My daughter was in an abusive relationship, and instead of her telling me, or instead of her getting away, she had a whole restraining order against this dude, but still was living with him. Do you understand that the level of crazy that is? That you are dating someone that you have a restraining order against. So essentially, every day this nigga comes home from work and goes to bed and eats dinner, he's violating a restraining order. To the point to where now you have to shoot him in a gas station parking lot for it to be, and the crazy thing about it is, for it to be, I hope over. Daddy, this was something that has happened before. Well, my love, how is that ever happening? If it happened once, it happened too many times. Why are we still here? Why am I finding out that this kid got a restraining order against, that you have a restraining order against this kid, but y'all were still in contact? You were with the kid for his birthday in violation of your restraining order. That's the toxicity that is going on today with these children and these kids. And I don't know, because I love my daughter to death and her mother love her to death. So don't nobody tell me about no single parent shit, because Ashley had both parents 100 degrees. 100 degrees. You know that, Sean. So I can't understand the level of which it is, but it's something that has always gone on. But I think in this generation, it's a lot more prevalent.
Okay. I agree with part of what you said, and I'll explain. I don't think it has anything to do with generations. I think it has to do with age range. So you mentioned both, but when we were coming up, it was no different, Rich. It wasn't. I can literally think in my head to some of the craziest couples that were as toxic to one another, always fighting. She's scratching his eyes out, this, that. It has to do with young love versus when you mature. And the key word that we always use on this show is mature. So I'm going to go back to the original question. For anybody who's just logging in, the question is, will a relationship work if a woman, and we're speaking from a man's point of view, so you can inverse it if you want, but if a woman is highly insecure or jealous? And the short answer is no, it won't work. Because above all, above a fat booty, above a bad body, above she's dropped dead gorgeous, above any of them things, a nigga want peace. And it just comes down to that. And when all of the lust and the euphoria, and I have hit it, and I know how great she is in the bedroom, and I know how special our sex life is, and all of that, when all of that stuff wears off, just to your words, that other stuff, the where was you, the constant arguing, the constant accusations, the constant you having to prove you did not do anything, I was not flirting, I don't even know that girl, you can call her yourself, or it gets old. I don't care how old you are, so you can be our age, or you could be 20 years old. And truth be told, you mentioned Christian and Blueface, well, they're broke up right now. As toxic as that relationship was, it's over. And the reason it's over is because homeboy can't take it anymore. It is too much work. It's just too much. It's old. At some point, we got to get it right. And this can be switched. Don't get me like it's a whole lot of jealous dudes out there. And it's a whole lot of insecure dudes out there. And it's a whole lot of dudes that make less money than you make. And they coming home and they pissed off because you out there doing your thing. And they making minimum wage. So now they got to take it all out on you. And who was that nigga you was talking to on the phone? And, oh, you got to go away from work, this, that, and the third. And they poking their head in on your virtual calls just to let everybody know you got somebody living in the house with you. All of that gets old. It does. So if you are a highly insecure person, if you are a highly jealous person, I would tell you right now, do the work on yourself before getting into a situation. Because in the beginning, it can be interpreted as, yo, this person is really into me. This person, this is the way they express their love. This, that, and the third. But I can guarantee you for everything, it is eventually going to lose its luster. And that you are just going, I don't care if you're Holly Berry. I don't care if you're Jennifer Lopez. I don't care, whoever, like, insert bad chick.
As you named the two craziest women on the planet Earth.
Exactly. Ask Andre Rison about Holly Berry. Ask any of her exes, and they would tell you the same. Honey is bad, but hell no, I can't do it. No, David Justice was her. I'm thinking Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Right.
The way she was killing Andre Rison. Like, it's nah, like it get old, and I don't think and to answer the second part of the question, if you really want your man back, and insecurity and jealousy was part of the reason y'all broke up, that is the one thing you don't want to show it. You don't want to fly off the handle. You don't want to constantly accuse and accusations and this, that, and the third. Because I'm a man and you're a man and you tell me if I'm wrong. But no matter how much you love Shorty, every time she show you that, it is a reminder of why we can't be together. So in her head, she's showing you I'm crazy like this because I'm crazy in love with you. And in his head, he's like, oh, hell no. I want no parts of that. I'm happy we broke up. And even if I thought about going back, if I was getting weak and I was letting my defenses down and I was starting to see you in a different light, this is just a reminder. And I can't do it. So I think that you know, we all can benefit from looking in the mirror and doing some self-help. But truth be told, if you know this about yourself, I would say do work on yourself before engaging in a relationship, because your relationship is on a timer. And I don't even know too many, because even as I was talking, I was trying to think of men who stayed the course over years of that, over months of that. And most men are going to tap out and they're going to be like, nah, it ain't cute. It's old. I'm tired of explaining myself. I'm tired. And I'm out of here. I'll give it back to, how are we looking on time, Rich?
8:23. We got a couple of minutes before we open up the phone lines.
Okay. Do you got any more thoughts to that, or
you want to move on? No, just
no.
real
You
quick.
tell me.
No, real quick. I agree with you. I agree with everything you said. And if you're a woman who is being triggered, or a man who is being triggered, then obviously that's something that you need to remove yourself from too. So not only the person that's triggering you, but you as a person who's being triggered, you should want to better yourself. You should want to not go to jail. You should want to not make a mistake one day and hit this nigga in the head and he bump his head against the corner of the coffee table and dies on the floor for some stupid shit. And now you got looking at life in prison over some silly shit because you lost your composure for 50 seconds. Like, better yourself. You should want to better yourself. And if a nigga's triggering you, then why would you want to be around him? Because that's a real thing today too.
I love
that's a real thing.
That you said that, Rick.
Huh?
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. Like truth be told, it don't matter how much you want to get back with your ex. If that person is a trigger for you, you should you should acknowledge that and be like, yo, I can't put myself back in that situation. I don't care how much I love them. I don't care how much I think they're the one for me. They're a trigger. So that's dope. That's dope that you brought that point, kid. Like that's real talk. Okay, we'll do one more and we'll open the phone line. So for everybody right now, now is the time that we encourage you, hit that plus button below. Only hit the plus button if you are 100% serious about joining the conversation. At any time, whether it is 1 minute after you hit the plus button or it is a half hour after you hit the plus button, you could be chosen to be on the show. So be ready. Be prepared. If we allow you in, don't say I wasn't ready. I didn't know that y'all were going to pick me. So that's number one. But we got some basic rules. If you're trying to be part of the conversation, you must have good lighting. Please be somewhere where it's well lit. Number two, you must show your face. We do not speak to empty screens. Number three, please be somewhere where there is good Wi-Fi or good cellular service. That's simple. It is very difficult to have a conversation with somebody or with you and it's buffering. It just puts a damper on the whole show. And number 4, we have no problem with you speaking and giving your thoughts and opinions on whatever it is that we spoke about tonight. But you must have a question. Somewhere in your communication with us, there must be a question, because your question could help a listener, a viewer, somebody who is going through the same thing but is not brave enough to call in. Okay. I'll try to ask a question because I know we're short on time. So I'll try to ask a question that is that'll go quick. I saw something this week. No, it wasn't this week. It was a couple of weeks ago. I just we didn't get a chance to talk about it. Should pregnant women date?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question. Should pregnant women date?
Should women who are showing, women who are clearly pregnant, should they date?
I think if you, as a woman, if you are comfortable enough in your skin that you can go out into the dating world, meet somebody, obviously, so this is the caveat to that. Obviously, if you meet somebody and they see that you're freaking 6 months pregnant and you're showing, then they're attracted to pregnant women. So there is somebody for everybody, right? So I guess if you're a woman and you find that men are attracted to you while you're pregnant, then I don't have any issues with you dating them, because apparently it's something that you're willing to do and they're looking at you to do. So who am I to say that if you're pregnant and single that you shouldn't be out there to find love? Like, I guess the mentality could be she's already pregnant, so I guess I can't knock her up, right? So, I mean, shit, she's already pregnant. What do I got to lose? Like, maybe a nigga's looking at you like she pretty. She might have a pretty baby that I could be the stepdad to. Like, it's a weird, to me, it's a weird flex. I don't want to date a pregnant woman. I don't want to date a woman that's showing. I don't want to date a woman with another man's belly in her gut. That's not something that I want to do. But yo, this is a weird world we live in now, and I can imagine that there's probably some women out there who are walking through the grocery store 6 months pregnant, and niggas is like, "Ooh, girl, that belly look good." Like, I imagine that it exists. It exists.
I said should. That's the underlying word.
Yeah, you should do what makes you happy. If you comfortable enough to go out there and be showing, and a man hit on you and it doesn't like disgust you that this nigga's even trying to talk to you, then do what you want. Yeah. For me, yeah. If I can't speak for a woman, all I can do is tell you that I'm not interested in dating a woman that's showing that's pregnant. But if that woman wants to date while she's pregnant, and she has men that want to date her while she's pregnant, man, if you like it, I love it.
Okay, you know something, Rich? I didn't even think about how I felt about this up until I just asked you the question. So I'm gonna just tell you where my gut is at. My gut says no, and I'm gonna tell you why. Do women date who are pregnant? Absolutely. Do men sleep with chicks who are pregnant with another man's baby? Absolutely. But here's the deal, right? Let me be specific. Let me make sure my words are very, very specific. Date is one thing. Sleeping with somebody who is not the person who impregnated you is a whole other thing. So if you want to court, date, go out and get to know somebody, by all means, do what you want to do. But I do not think crossing the line is a good idea. And I'm going to tell you why. Women are highly emotional. Their hormones are so far off. That's a given. You can be with the person who impregnated you, and it's a roller coaster. Like you don't know who you getting from one minute to the next because her hormones are everywhere. She's pregnant. Her feet hurt. She look in the mirror. She don't feel cute. All that stuff. We get it. But I think complicating your situation, and I guess that's a fair word, complicating by getting emotionally and physically involved with somebody while already dealing with your emotions and everything else being turned upside down. I just think it complicates your life that much more. And I think it's worth waiting. I don't know that it's a good idea to get involved with someone and you're already growing week over week, month over month. You're dealing with, I'm not with the kid's father. I hate that nigga. He knocked me up.
That's big.
Huh?
That's big.
Yeah, you're dealing with that already. Now you got somebody else in your ear. It's hard enough to date when you ain't pregnant. It's hard enough to date when you're young, when you're old, when you're inexperienced, when you are experienced. It's like dating ain't easy. Finding somebody who you can trust and navigating, is this nigga for real? Is he about everything what I'm looking for? Or is it just games? And is he just trying to hit and run? All that is hard. So to do that with a growing child in your womb, I think you can wait them 9 months. I think you can chill. And I also just think it'd be a smart decision.
As a woman, I agree with you. I'm a man, but as me, is what you're saying about a woman, I agree 100% with what you're saying about a woman. But what if that woman is lonely and she's by herself and pregnant?
Get a dog.
And somebody showing her attention.
Get a dog.
Nigga said, get a dog.
Get a dog. You like a nigga showing you. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, Rich. And this is what women, because I don't want to take too long. We already passed our time. But this is what y'all don't know. If a nigga into you, he will wait. He will. A nigga will wait. So if you find you got a connection with somebody, but for whatever reason you cannot have intercourse with him, you don't have to be pregnant. If a dude is into you like that, he will wait. It's just that simple. So if you are pregnant, why complicate the matter even more? If a dude is like, if he's into you like you just said, he's gonna wait. And he gonna be there when the baby come around, and he gonna be so happy that finally we can consummate this relationship. And that's just the truth.
After your postpartum, after you lose your baby weight, after you feel, because being pregnant is probably not as bad. Being physically pregnant is probably not as bad as after delivering and your hanging gut and all that stretch marks and all that shit. So yeah, the nigga gonna have to wait a minute. So he better really like you, because he gonna have to wait a minute. I'm just keeping it a buck. Let's think about it. A woman, postpartum doesn't come when you're pregnant. Postpartum comes after you're pregnant. That's why it's called postpartum. And when you deliver that baby, it's going to be some time before you feel comfortable about yourself again. So, yeah, he better like you. He better like you, because it ain't going to be no, I met you at 6 months, so let's go 3 plus, what, 3 and 3 months, we off to the races. Nah, not so much. 3 months, I'm going to deliver this baby, and in another 6 months, I'm still going to be feeling shitty about myself, and I'm going to want to punch you in your face because my belly's hanging over my drawers, and I feel disgusting, and I'm depressed.
What's the alternative? You hit it while she's pregnant, and she's still postpartum and everything you just said for the next 6 months, and she don't want to be sexually active anyway.
I don't think you should date. I don't think you should. Me personally, I wouldn't date a woman who was pregnant, because there's still going to be interaction with the baby father, and there's still going to be that a pregnant woman doesn't want to leave her man. A pregnant woman will probably put up with more nonsense than any other woman on the face of the earth during that time period, because she doesn't want to be felt left alone. So if you meet a woman who's pregnant, chances are she's still talking to her dude, bro. Chances are she's still talking to her dude, and if that dude wants to come back around, he will have an open door, because it's for the kid, right? So I don't know that you really have a fair shot in hell, regardless of what the situation may be. I don't know that you really have a fair shot at all if you're trying to date a woman that's pregnant.
But again, that's not the question. The question is, should she? And you just answered it. For all the reasons you just said, it's one more reason, one more set of reasons. Be easy, have your baby, and if you and your baby father don't get back together, then get back out there. It's that simple. For all of the things you just said, it's even more reason I don't know that a pregnant woman should date. Not that she can't date, not that it's not dudes who still are attracted to her. Has nothing to do with that. It has to do with now things get complex. They get complicated. Just chill. Like you could put yourself on a bench for a couple of months. But let's open the phone lines, Rich.
All right, let's do it. So again, Sean gave y'all the rules. If you have any questions, you have anything that you want to discuss, please hit the plus button inside the camera now. We are opening up the phone lines, and you know the rules. So let's go with Big Rene. Big Rene, 1. Is she in the room? Is she coming in?
Nope, I'll let you know.
All right, so we can move on. Brownski Babe. Brownski Babe.
Greetings, fellas.
What's up, mama?
Hi. So it's your favorite brown skin daddy again. I love the boys club. And so here's my question. Let's get right into it. We hear a lot in today's society about men creating emotional safe spaces for women to be more feminine, to be more vulnerable, right? But let's change the narrative a little bit. And, you know, given our current climate, especially as Black men, you know, how can we create more emotional safe spaces for men to be vulnerable and to pull back the layers a little bit? Because I know men, that's where their heart is, you know, and I feel like us as women, we need to get to that part. So what can we do as women for you guys to be more vulnerable, more transparent and open with us as women?
Sean, you want to go first?
Actually, a pretty good question.
Yeah,
I got to think about it. But it's a good question, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. One of your better questions since you've been coming on the Boys Club.
I enjoy watching the show, but I know you guys are going to give really, really good feedback. So,
Sean, you want to
answer that first? So, yeah, let me just make sure I understand the question. What can you guys as women do to make men feel comfortable about opening up and being more vulnerable? Do I have that right?
Yeah, because you hear a lot of things like where some men, I have male friends, and they'll tell me that they opened up and shared something with their woman friend, or they'll bring it back up to them in an argument and throw it back in their face, or, but we have to be cognizant, like, hey, we want our men to be vulnerable, and when they share these pieces of themselves, we have to cherish them. We have to hold it with life and respect. We can't just be belittling our men when they open up about different traumas or different things that may have happened in their lives. Like, how can we as women create more security emotionally for you as men to be more open and letting down the guard more?
Okay, very good question. I think I got it. First and foremost,
You just answered it.
Yeah, you kind of just answered it.
You answered the question. You just took all my. I wish I had answered first, because Sean got you to say exactly what I was going to say. Now I'm sitting here dumbfounded. I don't have nothing to say to y'all. So I'm just going.
Well, I know you're going to go in depth though. No, I know you got something to give.
It's so funny. No, I think you just answered the question, but I want to go. I want to peel the layers just a little bit, and it's something we spoke about early. I mean, you're relatively new to the Boys Club, but it's something that we spoke about early when we started the show. You have to understand, especially, it's not just men, but African American, men of color, whether it is Hispanic, it's just men of color. Typically, we come from low-income, impoverished neighborhoods, right? And the way that society, first and foremost, society judges. I mean, the action stars and the men who are celebrated, typically they're not celebrated for this, for the brain. They're celebrated for the brawn. They're celebrated for their ability to be protectors and how hard they are in the hood and this, that, and the third. So from little boys, from the time that we come up, all of the imagery that we see, whether it's on television, in the movies, or just in the hood with the dudes who get the respect, those are the dudes who are the strong, silent type. They keep everything close to the vest, but they handle their business. So let's start there, right? And then we grow up and we get into relationships. And now we're asked to be vulnerable. We're asked to open up. We're asked to share. And that goes against everything that you've experienced damn near your entire life, coming from the environments that we come from. So it's very, very, very difficult for a man to just turn it off like that. Men are not natural communicators. We're taught, don't snitch, don't run your mouth, you talk too much. This and your mother will tell you that. Forget the streets. This is coming from the women, the woman that you love the most.
Wow.
So when we get into these relationships and now you're expected to share, it doesn't come easy. So with that being said, how does a woman get a man to open up? First and foremost, she has to acknowledge and understand why men move the way men move. Why am I not comfortable with sharing my feelings? Because even though you have presented a safe space in here, the rest of the world, I have to put on that coat of armor. I got to go out and be a warrior in the rest of the world. And I've been doing it my whole life. So now in here, I got to drop the armor and I got to let you in. And men don't do it for that reason. But number two, so many women.
Teary-eyed. That makes me teary-eyed because I feel so much for you. I love Black men and I have a son and he's 7. And, like, just to know you guys have to shield your emotions. You guys have to shield, who and what you are a lot of the time. So it's like, how do you even cry? Do you guys even like, how do you feel? Like, how do you get it out? How do you get your emotions out?
Well, I mean, creating a safe space, as you mentioned, is just that. A safe space shouldn't be for the moment. It should not be for when you and your girl are on good terms. And what has happened in a lot of relationships is when men decide to share, now 2 days later, when y'all having an argument, the same things that you shared are being thrown back in your face. The same things that you shared during your moment of vulnerability are thrown back in your face to make you feel weak. And no man wants to feel weak in the streets. And he definitely doesn't want to feel weak in the home with a woman that is supposed to see me as the rock and her strength. So you have to understand that if you can get a man to open up and share, number one, you just conquered a major hurdle, and you got to respect it, and you got to cherish it, and you got to treat it with the care that it deserves. And you can't use the information as now a weapon to tear him down in the future. So if you want your man to keep sharing, that's why when you hear men talk about my ride or die, she's my ride or die. She's the one that know where all the bodies are buried. She damn near helped you bury him, but she ain't never throw it back in your face. She ain't never made you feel weak because you shed a tear in front of her. She never made you feel weak because you showed her a side of yourself that no man on earth has ever seen. But you felt confident enough with her to do it. She don't throw that back in your face. So I think that hopefully I answered your question, but Rich, you know, we both been talking, so maybe you got more to add to the conversation.
I'm just here watching, bro. This nigga just did a 5-minute soliloquy and crossed 50,000 points and then gonna come to me like, what's left, Sean?
Rich, you always got something good to add, though.
Yeah, you do. Come on.
You
say that every time, but you always have something great.
That's why I like to. That's why I like to go first, because this nigga has me sitting here with nothing to say. I'll be sitting here looking like stupid. Niggas in the comments like, Rich, you falling asleep? Say something. What do you say to that? Like, he said it all. Like, first of all, you answered your own question originally. You did. The basis of the whole question was, how do you get a man in a safe space? And that's by taking what you're being told and putting it in a safe place. Because if you use your powers for evil and not for good, then you're gonna put him in a position where he's never gonna trust you again. He's not gonna ever give you that thing. That's the thing about, I'm gonna go another direction, since y'all pretty much covered that per se. I'm gonna go from a mental health standpoint. And I don't want you to get teary-eyed.
I can't help it, Rich. I love my black men. I do.
But from a mental health perspective, how about checking on somebody? How about showing a genuine interest in how they're doing, how they're feeling, and how they're moving? See, oftentimes when, like Sean said, a man is supposed to be the rock and he's supposed to be the caregiver, right? As much as a woman is the caretaker, the man is the caregiver. Come home and the consensus around the house, or the feeling around the house, is that when you have to always be in a position of power or a position of strength, then you can't let your guard down. Like Sean said, it makes it very, very difficult to let your guard down. So in those moments, it's a woman's job, if she in fact genuinely wants to put her man at ease is to just ask the simple questions and listen and be there for him, and don't listen half-assed. Don't listen like you don't want to listen. Be attentive and listen. How was your day? What happened during your day? Did this go well? Oh, you had a meeting today. How did that meeting go? And through the conversation of him telling you how his day-to-day has the trajectory of his day from morning to night, you're going to hear different things. And if you're attentive and you're inquisitive, then it would be your job to ask. I didn't say pry. I didn't say jump out there and try to make him answer those questions, but you gotta, oh, word, that meeting, it didn't go good. Oh, why? Why didn't it go well? And now through conversation, you start getting shit, right? So then when you get to the meat and bones, the most important thing is what you said. You got to use your powers for good and not for evil, because if a nigga tell you something and then in the next argument, he's a weak ass nigga, you couldn't even do this or you couldn't even do that, you pussy ass nigga, you fuck ass nigga. You came home crying the other day, nigga, fuck you. I can't tell you nothing else. No, I can't tell you nothing else. Because now you're using my emotions to belittle me. So it's just best for me not to give you my emotions anymore. Shout out to my brother Renell just came in the room. What's up, Renell? But yeah,
it's one thing, you know, before we move on, you know, even as Rich was talking, you know, and I think y'all really need that. This goes to women of color, because I can't speak for Caucasian women or Caucasian men, but I know men of color pretty well and women of color, and that means anything, Hispanic, you know, whatever it might be. But you know, I grew up in the hood, in the Bronx, South Bronx, and I remember as a little boy watching some of the Spanish chicks and some of our sisters, when they would greet each other, they would kiss each other, and y'all are used to showing that emotion. Even you would greet each other with a kiss, or when you leave, you would hug and give each other a kiss and go about your way. Rich is a man, and what I'm about to say, he's going to totally relate to what I'm about to say. But it's only into recent history to where, like, now it's a lot more common for a brother to tell another brother, I love you, or get off the call and niggas be like, yo, love. But niggas still hard. Like, a nigga will say love, but I love you makes me soft. Or niggas say one love, but I ain't gonna just be like, yo, I love you, kid. Like, we still are getting to where y'all have been. And I'm only saying that to say this is how the armor is with men, because in the streets you can't show that with weakness. You cannot. You know, so when you come home and now you gotta drop that and express the I love yous and share your past traumas and all of that, you know, it's a tall order. And if you get your man there, treat it with care. Real talk. So that's just my thought.
Thank you so much, Boys Club. I appreciate you, Rich and Prez. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You don't
as
appreciate
always.
You don't appreciate me. I ain't even get to say nothing.
Say something. Freaking Rich, man.
Medina Abdullah. Abdullah Medina is her name. Medina Abdullah. I'm sorry. Let's see where she at.
Medina.
She fell asleep.
No.
Turn your, hold on, Rich. Hold on. Turn your phone, turn your camera around.
I am sleeping.
So why'd you request it?
I fell asleep waiting.
So you gonna turn the light on, or you want us to cut you?
Well, y'all can pass me. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
All right.
Lord have mercy.
Can't make this shit up, bro. So yo, if y'all have a question and you haven't fallen asleep yet, please hit the camera button with the plus inside of it, and we'll get you in. Tamia Nene. Tamia Nene. You saying add me? If you say add me, then push the button and put the request in.
Who's saying that? Me?
I didn't. They went too. The comments are going too fast. I just saw.
Oh, somebody in the comments.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm assuming that this girl's not coming in.
Correct.
Christina Pini, Betty Boop.
Okay, while we're waiting.
But yet Medina Abdullah is still in the comments talking about don't start.
Here, David, they want to talk to you. Ask your question.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know if this is you or me. I don't know. Here, you gotta turn it around.
Hello?
Go that way.
Check it out. I got a question here.
Okay.
Now look it.
First, can we get you to stay still and sit down in some light?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. That's where I'm going.
Okay, what's your name, by the way?
My name is David Rodriguez.
Who?
David Rodriguez.
Okay, where you coming in from, Dave?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, what's up, Dave, from Chicago?
Okay, now check this out.
Let's go out to Richie Dollars.
Now, look
Richie
it.
Dollars, this is for you, Richie,
Now-
because you from the
Now look it. Okay,
dog pound.
may I please
He's a
talk?
dog pound, so he's
May,
gonna tell
may I
us.
please talk? Okay, now look it. Facebook, right? Now, I'm not really into big social media, but again, I tried it, and I get people on social media, right? Mainly females more than guys. Okay? I'm not trying to be all that, but I'm a good-looking guy, whatever the case may be. Now, that's just Facebook. I mean, these people are from everywhere. Now, my girl talks to men every day. She knows a lot of guys. I'm not insecure myself. I'm cool with that.
I'm not insecure either.
Right? She could talk to any guy she wants. Don't matter to me. I know who she's with. Correct?
Correct.
Wrong.
Now, moving forward, I get these on Facebook, these women on Facebook, and we simple conversations. There's no profanity. There's no sex involved or anything like that. Talk about nothing in that nature. It's just strictly talk. It's just conversation. Now, I'm not jealous. She could talk to men, and these are all these gentlemen that are here where we live. The people that are on Facebook, they're nationwide.
Of course.
So I'm not insecure when she talks to these men or whatever the case may be. I don't accuse her of anything. She could do as she pleases.
Right.
Correct? Why should I let her be insecure myself and say stop talking to these men? No, these are her friends. If she's not interested in me anymore, then she can go about her business,
Are these
and I
your
understand
friends or
that.
these people you're
These
just
are
meeting?
these are people just on Facebook who I just have simple conversations.
Are they your friends?
Well, they're Facebook friends.
No. Again, they're not your friends.
Well, I understand that, but
Thank you.
moving forward, they're just people on social media. I'm not doing profanity. I'm not doing no nudity,
She got a smile over there.
nudity,
You know what's up?
no nudity or anything like that. Straight up, I go to work
So
and then I come home.
Dave, I'm trying to understand the question. Are you asking us if you're right and she's wrong?
No, I'm asking what's your opinion?
My opinion is, what's your relationship? Are y'all married?
Hold on a second, Richie. Let me fill you in a little bit, sweetheart. Okay? Because I watch you guys faithfully. Hold on a second. I was given a ring from this gentleman.
Yes,
in Christmas time after we had a breakup because of disloyalty and dishonesty.
Yes, I made mistakes.
Okay? Everybody makes mistakes.
I do not deny that.
I'm okay to understand that when you make a mistake and you're trying to fix those mistakes, I'm all for it because no one's perfect. But when those mistakes become a pattern, then those are not mistakes anymore. Then those are conscious decisions. And when you make a conscious decision to tell a woman on the other end that no, you're not in a relationship and that you're barely exploring options, I took that as, well, you're going to explore? Wait, you didn't tell me we were exploring. Why you get to explore?
Okay.
Explore.
Then I answered her question. I said, the only woman I need to be truthful with is with her.
But you're not.
She's the only woman
Dave,
I need to be
come on,
truthful with.
Dave.
Thank
Come
you.
on now. Dave.
True.
He's a
All right,
dog
so
pound.
let
He
me-
knows.
let me-
What is excuse me, I don't understand. What is dog pound? What does that mean? I don't use.
He doesn't watch you guys.
I don't use
on
slogans.
TV.
I don't use slogans. I like to talk direct.
He
I
doesn't
don't
watch you
use ghetto slangs. Please talk direct with me. I don't know what the dog pound means. So please enlighten me with that.
What's the dog pound? My nigga, I said, come on, Dave. Isn't
No,
your
no,
name
no.
Dave?
She was saying you're a dog pound. I'm not a
No.
nigger. So please don't use that.
So listen to what
Thank
I'm
you.
saying. Okay. So Dave has been disloyal in the past.
Yes, I have.
But you have forgiven him for his indiscretions, right?
Sure.
Okay. And
I
he's
don't
gonna
deny
work
that.
on it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. With that, between the two of y'all, while y'all are trying to mend your relationship and get back into a good space, I think you both should leave social media alone.
Thank you, sir.
You both should
I
get
agree
to a
with you.
place where y'all are both comfortable with each other, both in the good place with each other, both can restore the faith, restore the I guess the honesty and the transparency. And once you
You're
get
onto
to that
something.
point again and you guys are in a good space, then you could divvy out. But you're only making it worse every day by going on social media and you talking to girls, she's talking to guys.
I don't have a phone anymore. I don't even have a phone anymore to put it.
Why are you justifying?
I don't even have a phone anymore to show her this. I don't know what to do to show her how much
Rich, I got
show her.
screenshots, Rich.
But there's nothing. There's no
got
profanity.
screenshots, Rich.
There's no profanity,
Rich,
and
I got
there's
screenshots.
no nudity.
I just said this.
It's
I'm
simple
not angry
conversation.
or mad. What I said was simply, we live together. What I said was this: since you're merely exploring, obviously you're questionable about where we're at. Therefore, you can explore under a different roof. Because now I want to explore too. Because obviously, if you feel there's something great out there, what about if there's something great out there for me?
But you're taking
So
it.
you
You're
can't
taking
have
it.
your cake
Hold
and
on.
eat it too,
Hold
you
on.
know?
You're taking it out of context. Merely explore. It's just words. There's no action in it. It's conversation.
Well, when you
see, no, hold on. You cannot put feelings and emotions behind the text in the screen.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Can you?
You're single.
Can you?
So go be single.
No, I'm answering a question. Can you put feelings?
I'm not an ugly woman. I'm sorry.
Nobody's saying that.
I'm sorry. I think I'm cute too.
now you're going way over there. Let's stick to the conversation.
Too, don't you think
Let's
I can
stick to the conversation.
I figure if I'm gonna be going through pain and suffering, all my bills
let's
should be
stick
paid.
to let's stick to the conversation.
Pain and suffering.
Now look at gentlemen.
It's just the way it is.
I'm 52.
Right. 52, and this is what I'm dealing with.
And you know what? I'm. You're absolutely right. I haven't been on social media in 15 years.
And now we're looking for.
And I went back on social media, and this is what I get. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to get on social media anymore. It's just a headache, buddy.
My only question
You're
is why do you
absolutely
leave it open so I can see it all?
No, because I got nothing to hide.
Okay, hold on.
Like you need
See, now this becoming an argument. Now this becoming a screaming match.
I'm just saying.
I don't lock my phone. My phone is open. She's going anytime she wants. I'm not hiding anything. Okay, so
guys.
she could go ahead and do.
Guys.
Go ahead.
We got to move the conversation on. It sounds like y'all doing more talking to each other than. So
well, anyway.
How about their
Thank
opinion?
you. No. His opinion was leave social media alone and let's focus on us.
That's
no,
it.
there's no.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm single.
I'm listening. You're absolutely right.
I hope this is all on social life. I'm single.
All right, y'all.
Good night, gentlemen.
Single.
Later.
She's not single at all.
Good night, gentlemen.
I'm single.
Good night. Peace. Peace and love.
Oh, that damn Betty Boopin' Dave. All right, here we go. Portia Armani. Are you in the room, Portia Armani? Or did you fall asleep? Damn, Amina. Abdullah talked about she fell asleep.
And for the record, if they're still watching, y'all are doomed. Just for the record. Like, you know.
Like I said, y'all are doomed.
Y'all are doomed. They are doomed. They're doomed. It's that simple.
Tania Nashing is coming. I'm trying to get her in the room.
They better be glad. That woman better be glad she didn't want me to speak. Because I was about to go so in, but.
Why didn't you?
Because she specifically wanted your opinion. And I got to respect that. Oh, yes, she did. She asked for you specifically. Let people in.
I didn't hear it.
Let's
trying.
just
I'm
dive.
trying to set some
Yeah, but
somebody.
I was about, oh my goodness, I wish that she would ask Sean Prez. But you know, I wish him the best, but it ain't looking good.
Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. What's up, Mama? What's your name? Where you calling from?
She the one from
Natasha
Harlem.
I'm back.
Oh
What's your
shit! What's
name
up, Harlem?
again? No, what's your name again?
Natasha.
Hey, Natasha. Welcome
Hey,
back.
how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Took your suggestion. Got another totally different question. How do you co-parent in a situation that seems unbearable? Like you've done everything you can do. The child is 12. What's the next step? Because it's just to the point of no return at this point, but you don't want to keep the child away from the other parent. Like, what do you do?
We just answered this last week. Somebody called in with the same question, right?
I
No,
wasn't
not
here last
you.
week.
Not
Yeah,
you.
not you. Somebody else called with this question about. That was the one we spoke about earlier. You was like, and then she wrote the letter.
No,
That's the same girl.
no, that's a whole different woman. But anyway, Natasha, just in the interest of time, you got to be more specific. So you can't just say
We don't get along. We don't talk. There's been violence in the past, court order, visitation order, not adhered
how many
to.
kids?
I don't beef one child.
Okay, you said we court order this violence. Is any of that toward the child?
Verbally, but not physically.
What does verbally mean? Because you could be taking this, and I want you to be as honest as you can with us. So every parent gets upset with their kid and scolds their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So is it him scolding his child, or is it verbal abuse? And I don't want you to speak from the standpoint that he is abusive to you.
Right. So the scolding is scolding without any love attached to it. Like scolding, and then that's it. It's like scolding. And then, I got to pick up the pieces after that. There's no real conversation after the fact.
Okay,
Like,
is it a boy or girl child?
Boy.
Okay, what's the boy's relationship, if you don't mind, with his father?
Not so great. Not so great.
What does that mean?
To me, there's really no bond. It's just, he had more of a relationship with his grandfather. His grandfather passed away, like, suddenly. And, that was his go-to guy. So, his pop stepped in, but when he stepped in, there was
Here's another question for you. Here's another question. How often does he see his child?
A couple of times a month.
Is that because of the court order?
No.
Meaning court order?
No, I don't even enforce it, but whenever he wants to.
How often does he speak to his child?
Almost every day.
Okay, does he live in the same city as his child?
Yes.
He does. Okay, so he speaks to his child every day. They see each other 2-3 times a month.
Mm-hmm.
At 12 years old. Rich, do you want to go?
Nah, go ahead. I'm trying to.
You said you want to give your thoughts first. You said you want to give your thoughts first, so go ahead.
All right. My thing is this. A father's gonna. Co-parenting means that you're parenting together. If you're not in the same house, if you're in the same house with somebody and you guys are parenting together, then you can almost shield your kid from the way your other person parents. Like, it's always going to be a good cat, bad cop kind of situation. Daddy said no, mommy said yes, y'all go in the room, y'all discuss it, and y'all come out with an answer, right? Mm-hmm. But it's different than that. If you're separate from him and he's parenting the way he parents, I can't say, see, if it's abusive and you say it's just yelling and screaming and hollering with no real love behind it, no real lesson to be learned, or no discipline. If he's just angry and he's just yelling and it's abusive to the child, then that's not a good environment for your son to be in. And I would suggest that you speak to his father and come to a conclusion, so that he can't be coming home or after talking to you feeling this kind of way, and get his side of it. Because he could say, well, he shouldn't be doing this, and if he's misbehaving, because people, I'm gonna keep it 100. They told me that I was too hard on my son Taylor when Taylor was growing up, because there's certain things that I didn't tolerate that his mother did, and because me and his mother weren't together, she was like, in her mind, she's like, well, I tolerate that stuff, and in my mind, I don't tolerate that. So in your mind, I'm being abusive. I'm being too hard on him. I'm yelling at him for no reason, because he's doing shit that I would never in a million years tolerate, that you don't have a problem with. So that's not to say, that's just two different people parenting two different ways. And me and my son have an amazing relationship. Like, that's my guy, right? But I think that if he's coming home and he's distraught and he doesn't want to see his dad, and he's coming home and he's breaking, you know, he's all broken, and you have to fix it, pick the pieces up every time he comes home, then it becomes not to be productive. If he doesn't want to go see his father, that's not productive. That's not productive. And that's a conversation you need to have with his father, because if you being a custodial parent, you see this all the time. You're with him all the time. So when he goes to see you, I can't allow him to go see you and then come home and be fucked up for a week because he just went to go hang out with dad. And now I got to try to mend this shit for a whole week because of what you did over a weekend. It's just not productive. And I think the first thing you got to do is talk to the father. You got to talk to the father and have that conversation, and then see where it goes. I mean, you're looking at me, and I know what you're saying. You're saying, yeah, I tried talking to him, the nigga loses his mind, and then next thing you know, me and him arguing. I already see what it's written all over your face. It's written all over your face. It's like, at this point, I'm talking to y'all because I'm at wit's end. So everything that I'm telling you to do, you're looking at me like I've already done it.
Yeah, because I don't want to disrupt that, but it's like, as a parent, at what point do you kind of like, I understand you as pops, but, you know, but coming from me is like, it's always a this. And my son is old enough.
Can I ask you, Rich,
Yes.
are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done?
I'm done.
So, go ahead.
Okay, you said your ex and his child speak daily. Do you believe he loves his child?
I assume so. I assume so.
I don't know what that means. It's a yes or no question. I mean, he speaks to him daily. I would have to believe he loves his child.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay. Can we say that? Is that fair?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna speak from a man's point of view, as Richie and I always do. First and foremost, your relationship with your ex is one thing. Your ex's relationship with your son is something totally different. So I want you to first try to separate the reason I was asking you the questions I was asking you earlier, because I really want you to first try to separate how you interact with your ex and how he treats you and how he disrespects you and how tumultuous the relationship is. Separate that from the love that he has with his child, if you can, because one has nothing to do with the other, and I can tell you. So now, with that being said, you're from Harlem, correct?
Yes.
Your son lives in Harlem, correct?
No. Bronx.
Where's he live? Okay. Your ex lives in New York City, correct?
Yes.
If you trusted this man enough to have a child with him, and you see that he calls his son every day, because if I can tell you, I don't know your ex and I don't know your child, but if he's on the phone with that boy every day, he loves his son. He does. But one thing that you don't understand, that Rich and I understand, is growing up in New York City, both of us as fathers, we have to train our kids, our young men, for what is coming to them in this world, how to move in this world. So your ex, although his style of parenting and the way he disciplines and the way he interacts with his son might seem harsh to you, you might not understand it. You never walked a mile in his shoes. You can't tell your ex what it's like being a man in one of the toughest cities in America in 2023. But I would ask you to trust, if he loves his son, which it sounds like he does, that his parenting, although you might not understand it, you might not agree with it, you might not be able to see where the ends justify the means, there is a method to his madness because he loves his child. And he has a man-child growing up in the Bronx, New York. So that's number one. Too often women allow their feelings for their ex, and he was abusive to me, and how your interaction was with your ex, and you see glimpses of that with your child, and you do what you do as a mother. I want to protect my child. But even if y'all lived under the same roof and everything was good, I can almost guarantee you to what Rich just said, men and women parent different. And if your ex grew up in the inner city, especially during the 70s, the 80s, this man knows, he knows what's out there. And he knows what he has to prepare his son for. He knows what he has to prepare his son for in the streets, and he knows what he has to prepare his son for in the job market. Rich could probably attest to what I'm about to say. When men, let's say your son played baseball, he played football, or he played basketball. I don't care if your son is 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. If that father's on the court with his son, he's going to boom. He's going to make that boy become a man, toughen up. But that same son is going to run home and cry. And a mother's going to do what a mother does. It says, why are you taking the fun out of the game? Why are you so hard on him? He's giving his best and this, that, and the third. But as a man and as a father, we know there's more. He didn't give his best. He can dig deeper. And I know it because I know my child. And every time that you see world champions, I don't care if it's Floyd Mayweather, I don't care who a world champion is. Do you know who's standing in their corner? That same father that everybody said you was too hard on this kid. But it was because they was hard. It was because they made that kid dig deeper that they brought the best out of him. And it was nothing that the world or any opponent can do to them that dad didn't prepare me for. So in closing, I will just tell you, if he's not abusive to his child, and you got to learn how to separate it. I didn't say if he's abusive to you, but if he's not abusive to the child, trust that there's a method to the madness. And I gotta believe if he's on the phone with his child every day, he loves that boy. Just trust it. Even if the kid doesn't see the method to the madness.
Right.
know,
It makes sense what you said, and I didn't think about it as far as the growing up, and there's a method to the madness. And I happen not to be one of those like, oh, mommy, you know, I'm kind of hard on him myself. So, but it's just difficult getting out the way. You know what I mean? It's that like I just want to get out the way. Like, I don't even want to, you know, but when it comes to, you know,
That's your baby.
I want to get out the way. I don't want to be in the way. Like, that's my whole goal, because I was told that a long time ago. Like, that's not your responsibility. You fostering that relationship is not your responsibility. Just step away. And I've done it. But it's to a point, like, I just got to eat it until, you know, I just got to eat it. Just eat that. And I can separate the whole abuse thing. That was years ago. I don't see it through my son. It's just some of it is abrasive. It can be harsh from my perspective as a parent, not so much as a mother, but as a parent. And it's like, is it that, or am I doing too much? Because I know the importance of having a father and from where he come. And he explained to me why he does what he does. But it's like, he's still a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
you know, we gotta figure this out.
To you, he's a 12-year-old. To you, he's a 12-year-old. 6-year-olds are shooting up classes. This
Right.
world, to you, he's a 12-year-old.
Right.
But that boy lives in the Bronx. And he has to be prepared for what is out there. And I would ask you, and again, I'm going to choose my words. If you believe he loves his son, then trust him. Then trust him, because what he's not going, the same way your job is to protect your son, that's his job. But y'all go about protecting and preparing your child in two very different ways. And that don't mean he's wrong, and it don't mean you wrong. So that's just my thoughts.
I don't know that you agree.
No,
I'm looking at you.
I just don't. I get it, but how do I move out the I just don't. I don't want to talk.
You just gotta trust.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to speak, but I don't want to get to that point of no return. Like, I don't want to get other people involved. It's just.
The thing that I hope you're hearing this part, because this is the word you gotta. No. The words you gotta underline, you gotta bold it, you gotta highlight it, you gotta put it in all caps. Does he love his son? Because if he loves his son, he's not going to do anything intentionally to harm that boy. And if you can honestly say he loves his son, then step out the way. That I can tell you.
That's my question. My question is, how do I step out the way? Like, how do I do that? Because
you gotta separate yourself from it. You gotta let those two relationships be what they are. You gotta let your son have that relationship with his father. You gotta step out the way. If you're sitting on this phone and you're saying, I have faith that that man loves my son, and Sean is saying, if you have that faith, you have to put it and remove yourself from that equation, almost to the point of being like, that's between you and your dad. That's
what I'm asking. How do I remove myself? Like, that's what I'm asking.
That's between you and your dad.
I don't even want. That's what I'm at. Like, how do I get out the way? Because I don't want to have to explain anything, and it seems like I'm going against. Because I don't want to do that. It's like, listen, whatever your dad says, that's what it is. And then when I hear what his dad says, that's still what it is. I'll have a conversation with his father if I can, and if I can't, that's fine too. I don't do the, going against. So that makes sense. Me using that term helps me get out the way, because I still gotta drop him off when you want to see him. And it becomes every little thing becomes an argument, and it's like, I just want peace. Like you said, I loved him enough to sleep with him. It's like, wow, what's the anger about still? Like, after all these years, why are you like, okay, like, what do I do? Like, there's no reason to still be angry after all of these years. Like, I don't hate him. I don't wish him no bad. But if I could just tell you the scenarios, it's just like, why are we still here after all these years? What else can I do? I don't keep you from him. I don't stop you from talking to him. I don't stop you from picking him up. I don't enforce the court order. I don't do none of that. How are we still at a place of discord? And because he's old enough to comprehend the dynamics between his dad and I, it's like, how do I get out the way? Because I don't want him to see that. That's why I left in the beginning. You know, I don't want him to see that discord. But me not responding adds more, you know, fuel to the fire. So I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Like, what's the middle ground? But
The middle ground is very
three
simple.
good suggestions that I'm going to use.
And also, just understand this. And I know it's hard to remove yourself from the equation. You're asking, how do I do it? You're not even saying, you know, you're telling us, yo, I'm all right to do it, but how do I do it? But here's the deal. And we told this to a woman several weeks ago. If it wasn't last week, it was a couple of weeks ago. You do understand your child is 12, right? Like your child lives in the Bronx, you live in Harlem. Like why are you even talking to this man? Like why do y'all even have interaction? Truth be told, I don't even understand, because even when we were talking to the woman a couple of weeks ago, that's what it came down to, is like, your child is old enough to have a direct line of communication with the father. So when you say, how do you step out of it? My question is, why are you still in it? Get your son a phone and let your son and his father talk. I don't need to talk to y'all. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, what? Only thing we need to talk about is, where's the child support? I don't even know what else you need to talk to this man about. Like real talk. So maybe you should. Does your son own it? Okay, here's a better question. Why are you talking to your ex?
So he could, when he pick him up and drop him off, if that.
Okay,
That's the only reason why I want to talk.
Okay, but clearly there's more communication going on. Why?
No, that's the communication, and it turns into
a shift. It should not turn into anything.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It shouldn't.
That's
like,
what
listen,
she's
this
saying
is what I'm trying to tell you. We don't have, we have a
minimal communication.
So we have an order, right? That's not being adhered to. I don't beef with him. Oh, why you don't come get him? I don't do that. Whenever he wants to, I make myself available if I can. Because I have a schedule. He has a schedule that I have to adhere to. If you don't come when you say you're supposed to come, I don't beef. If he's available, cool. When he's not, I'm not arguing. I don't want to go back and forth. He has a phone. So now it's like I'm communicating through my son. I don't want to do that because there is no order. You understand what I'm saying? So
Correct.
I don't know when he's going to pick him up. So if it's not coordinated through me, it's supposed to be coordinated through my son. I don't want to put that through my son. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just looking for a resolution because, again, I've tried everything
I mean, it's simple. Once y'all, he's available Friday at 3 o'clock. It's nothing else to talk about. I don't care if he hits you 50 times from there. It's nothing else to talk about. I wouldn't respond. I wouldn't do it either. That is it. It's nothing else. This is, and I guess Rich, you and this is a good conversation, and we're prolonging. I would like to get other people on the call, but truth be told, your son's old enough to have direct communication, and to your point, you're not going to just not know when he's picking your child up. So of course he has to go through you. But after that, I don't care if he hits you with 50 text messages. Everything should be on text, number one. Nothing should be calls. And after Friday at 3 o'clock, if I was you, I wouldn't respond to anything. I just wouldn't. There's no other reason for y'all to communicate. None. I just,
the reality is, after listening to this whole thing, I think it's a simple equation. Either he's going to step up and do what he needs to do, or he's going to phase himself out. Because your son's getting older. Your son's getting older. And at some point, a couple years from now, he's not going to want to hang out with dad anyway. Be quite frank with you. You're going to be 15 years old and want to hang around with his friends and do what he want to do. So that relationship, so my point is, at this point in time, you have to remove yourself, period. And then let your son handle it. And let your son's father handle it. And if your son's father steps up and does what he's supposed to do, then, hey, mom, dad's coming to get me on Friday. cool. Dad don't show up, he'll be hurt, but you can't protect him from that hurt. You got to let that hurt ride. Because now he needs to understand. So you going back and forth and arguing with your father, he sees that too. He sees that too. So at this point in time, at 12 years old, your son is 12 years old, you need to be over here, you need to step up, you need to do what you need to do for your son. All right, cool. If you don't show up, then that's on him. That's on him. We on some Ben Vereen, Uncle Phil shit now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's got to be. And it's when your son is 15 years old, and I have a son who's 19 now, and at 15 years old, he didn't want to hang with me no more. It was Dad, come see my games. Dad, come here. Dad, come do this. We can go meet each other. But Taylor didn't want to come to Jersey to hang out with me on the regular because he had his own friends and he had his own life. And he was 15 years old in high school. So all this, you only got a couple more years of this before he's like, yo, I jump on the train and go see my dad myself. There don't have to be no communication. I jump on the 7 or the 4 or 2, whatever y'all are doing, and go up top and go see my dad. So just all I can do is say, take yourself out the equation. Let your son and your son's father handle that business. And if he drops the ball on that, then that's on him. But you can't sit in the middle and try to moderate this whole thing and drive yourself crazy by trying to moderate it. You have to let him be who he is. You have to let him be the father. And that's all you can really do at this point.
Gotcha. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you later, girl.
Yo, that's a tough one, man. That was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy co-parenting, man. She got
Yo,
good advice.
Can you believe Abdullah Medina has had the nerve to come back? She must have woke up.
Okay.
No, I'm not letting her back in.
Hello, guys. How are
What's
you?
up, Mama?
I was trying to jump in. I'm glad you guys gave the advice. The question for me tonight is, how can a woman navigate when, and I know the answer, but how can a woman navigate through those disruptions in the family? When I say disruption, I mean, this child is going to the mother. As mothers, we only know one thing, and that's to nurture our children, to love our children and be sensitive. What would you tell a woman how to react? More so, not just her as a woman, but all these women, because it's something we need to hear. How do we react by separating the two? Because we're emotional beings. We're gonna go towards, he beat me, so I must react like this to protect my baby. But in reality, he's not hurting the child. It was between the two parents. Do you get my question?
Hell no.
I think we just answered this though. I don't want to have the same conversation again.
No,
we just did it.
You did answer it, and that's why I say you guys really hit it on the nose. It's just that women we have to back up. And I'm glad you answered it, but that was before I asked to come in. So I'm glad you did answer it.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm glad that we have the same perspective that you do. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like me and Sean are doing the right thing on here.
No, you and Sean are really, really doing the right thing. And when I say that, I mean that you're coming from a male's perspective, and women need to step off and deal with the breakup. That's what women don't do. We don't deal with the breakup. We utilize the kids as pawns to deal with the breakup. And those are two different things. If the man, like you said, is calling every day, there must be love. If he's not calling to speak to the mother, there must be love there for the child. And women just got to back the heck up all the way. And women, you take it how you want to, but you cannot, I repeat, raise a man. You cannot. I don't care how much we try, we can't. And that's why I always say I'm a mother, period. He has a father, and parent different, period, too. So also, if you guys could touch on that, Why do men parent separate differently than a woman?
Because men are men and women are women.
Go deeper.
I mean,
Go deeper.
it's a masculine side of it. I think Sean already touched on all that.
No, there's a
If you're raising a son, you're raising a son in your day-to-day activity, how you are treated in America, how a black man is treated in America. You're not raising a son of how a woman is treated in America. You can't treat somebody I can't raise my son how I'm not accustomed to being treated. I can't raise my son third person.
How about I raise my son the way I was raised? I was taught to raise. I was raised.
That's not always right.
It's not.
That's not always right.
No,
if you speak to if my mother came on this thing right now,
yeah.
she would tell you that if the shit that I did to Richard, if Richard did to Taylor, I call the cops on that.
Because your mother is a grandmother, and
my mother knows that times have changed, and you cannot get away with the shit that she got away with in 1980 something.
You're right. But listen, that's how we were taught to raise. So he is coming. Listen, and I'm not taking up for the young man, but he's only coming from a way that he was taught. It's either A, he didn't have his father around, so he doesn't know, and whoever taught him, or B, like Sean said, he's protecting his baby because the world out there is discussing. The way we were raised wasn't correct. But look how far we got because of those beatings. And we can't even get out. Listen, Rich, we can't even get our kids. No, listen.
I respectfully disagree.
Okay.
I respectfully disagree.
Listen, we can't even get our kids to go outside and play freeze tag. We can't even get them outside to play red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. So some of the things that we did learn that go outside, I'm not saying everything, because some of that trauma shouldn't have been passed down to us. But some of those things our children are missing. And like Sean said, that's why they're going up in these schools, shooting up these schools. When I was growing up in the South Bronx, the only person, we were playing behind the school. We weren't thinking about shooting up a school. We were playing behind the school. We were on the school grounds. The jams was on the school grounds. That's where we heard the music and stuff. So things have changed. And I'm not saying pass down that generational trauma, but what I'm saying is allow the parent to raise. And that's basically what I'm saying. I'm never saying pass down that horrible stuff that happened to us as children. Absolutely not. We don't want to relive the crack era, but some of that stuff is needed. And women don't know how to mind their business when it comes to a man raising their child. They're not going to hurt them. I mean, who would put their child with a pedophile or something? I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about he's calling his son A+. Some men, we can't even get to pick up the phone because they don't want to deal with the woman, right? So that's a plus. And I think if y'all guys continue to build on that, and what you guys basically said is a great thing. Keep building on that, because if you don't, this is what happens. But thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the conversation.
All right, Mama.
Thank you.
Appreciate your contribution to the conversation.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night, Janelle.
You too.
I mean, she made good points, but I still respectfully disagree with the totality of it. You can't raise children in 2023 to raise you the way you raised them when we were coming up. It just isn't going to work. It's just not even legal anymore.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you.
Okay.
And we'll have this conversation next week. No, let people in.
Hi. Here I am, y'all. I won't take long because I'm a hot mess right now, but I just wanted to make a comment.
Can you see you, Abdullah?
Sorry, here I am. I'm sleepy. I'm tired.
But you've been in the chat. But you've been in the chat the whole night.
I was asleep too until you called my name the first time. And for some reason, I woke up. I'm not going to tell you how you woke me up, but yeah, I woke up. So can we stay focused, please, for a minute? So I just wanted to say, like, this whole, like you said, the masculine, feminine thing, and just this new era that we live in, it is like, it's either you learn to adapt to the changes and make it work for your families, whether if you're together or not, and just like step up with communication and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because other than that, we're always going to have this clash, this confusion, because a lot of people, like with identity situations, is like it affects the children, and no one's actually sitting back and saying, damn, you know, our kids are really inheriting anything. This whole entire world that we live in is, you know, epic fail, plummeting.
Myth.
Yeah, it's just going nowhere, and our children are inheriting it.
I know you just woke up, but what the devil are you talking about? Like you?
I've been talking about just knowing each other.
No. Listen, I know you just woke up, so I want you to compose yourself, because right now I don't understand one word. So just take a second.
Speaking about the last conversation that you guys just had with the young lady. So what I was mentioning was when you mentioned something about masculinity and the times we live in, I just think that all of us are not doing a good job with understanding the times we live in and our roles that we play in as being a feminine or a masculine man or feminine woman, because it's so lost in the trenches. Do you understand what I'm saying? And also, like you guys mentioned earlier too, about being a man and raising a child in a tough, you know, environment. You can't really tell a man how to raise your child in a tough environment as a woman, because the perspectives should be different. You know what I mean? Depending on how you were brought up and what you understand in today's, you know, and that's just, but needless to say, I just think there's a lot of confusion when it comes down to communication. Communication is always key, and we lack certainty with that. We have not yet learned how to communicate with each other well, with the understanding. I know I'm sleepy, but you understand what I'm trying to say, though.
I get it. I get it. Good night,
it's a lack of communication, though. It is a lack of communication.
Next time I'll let you in early.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye, girl.
That damn Medina was still sleep talking.
Yeah.
I hate when this happens. So here it is, 8:45, and we got 53 people in the thing. But just 20 minutes ago, I was literally praying that 2 people didn't not accept the request because we didn't have that many people in the chat. But what's up, Mama? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
My name is Bree. I'm from Cleveland.
What's up, Janelle?
Your name is who?
Bree from Cleveland.
What's up, Bree?
How are you? Okay, I missed the question, so I just joined, so I don't know what's going on.
All right, Bree. See you later. Can't make this shit up, bro. Shayla D. Brown Pearl. Shayla D. Brown Pearl. Next. Big Nene 1. Big Nene _1. Okay. Next. RS Layla. RS Layla.
Uh-oh. Wait, let me see. How do I work this goddamn camera? Okay. Hey, so I have a question. My question is,
we can't see your face, love.
You can't see me at all?
Nah, we can see you, but your cleavage is in the way.
Oh, is that right? Oh, stop it. Okay, sorry. I'm in my house dress. It's bedtime, so I do apologize.
It's all
Way
good.
too big, so I'm sorry. So,
Go
I gotta
ahead,
get
girl.
into
Go ahead.
doctor.
okay. So how soon is too soon to start dating again? I'm gonna try not to show my tits, but how soon is too soon to start dating after a bad relationship? But I'm ready. Like it's been months, and I think it's time. I need some. You know what? So, yeah.
That's why you got your titties on the screen.
No, this is really my house dress. This is
Okay.
really a house dress.
To answer your question, we can't tell you when it's okay to start dating again. You said it's been months. We always say on the show that it's good to put yourself on the bench for a little while, get yourself together, heal from whatever the last relationship didn't work, the reasons why the last relationship didn't work. But if you feel like you're back in a place where you're ready to get back on the market, and you feel like you're in a place where you can give the next person a fair opportunity and not hold the other man's issues against the new man who didn't do anything wrong to you at this point, then by all means, get on out there and do what you do.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And by
No, I'm ready. I mean, it's just time. It's been long enough. Yeah, so it's time. I had to get some things in order in my personal life before I even start dating again, but I'm ready. It's like, you know, I'm that type of woman. Everything has to be in order, and I feel like it's in order. And I mean, good women. I'm a real sister and a good sister. I don't have to be single, you know. And you know, I date brothers, so I mean, I got too many after me to stay single. Like, sorry, but fuck that.
That ain't the reason. That ain't the reason to date again. It's because you got a bunch of niggas in your DMs because you put your titties on Mr. Dallas and Sean Press's IG live. That's not a reason to get back into the dating world. You got to get back in the dating world because you feel like you not about getting some new dick, not about hanging out. When you said it, not me, but it's not about any of that stuff. It's about going out there, meeting somebody, and being able to be in a place mentally that you are ready to take on the new challenges of a new relationship without harboring the ill will or the resentment from the last one. That's the bottom line. So if you're ready to do that, get back in the date and get your 32 double D's off my screen. Have a good one.
Bye. Thank you.
Jody the Brooks. Jody the Brooks.
You know, it's so crazy, Rich, because I'm literally looking at this chick. She came in with that question. Nigga, she wasn't looking for no answer. She was advertising. She wanted, like, miss, don't think you're slick. Like we know, like we did promotion and marketing for a living, both Rich and I. Like that was 100%. You ain't want no answer to no question. You was on here using this platform to advertise.
Exactly.
So I hope it works out for you, but don't think you pulling one over on us. She was letting us know it's a half-off sale. Like that.
Hello?
Hey, Sean, leave these people alone. Turn that down, baby. Hey, Rich.
What's up, mama?
This is Chanel from Cincinnati. Thank you, gentlemen. So my question tonight is, so, like the first time I got on here, you know, I got some dates. Thanks, Rich. Didn't have to give up no goods. But now the question is, how do you let some of these men down easily without, you know, them turning toxic?
Rich?
Cricket. I said, Sean, could you answer the question, please?
Come on, you know Richie is your buddy.
Nah, you know he ain't though.
Yes, he is. Rich loves some Chanel.
Come on. Give me some advice, because I don't know what to do.
Well, stop talking to so many dudes at one time. That's first and foremost.
Why? I'm dating. That's the whole point of dating, right?
Chanel,
What's up?
you can't ask rhetorical questions.
How is it rhetorical? That was direct.
Rhetorical means that you already know the answer. How do you let men down? Sean just gave you the only answer that's possible. How do you let men down? You stop answering every single nigga. You start answering every single DM. You start answering. If you already adore something with somebody and you're dating someone or you're out there dating, then you pick and choose.
We're dating them all. What I'm saying is, okay, some want to pursue, like, some people put it on an accelerated plan. You know what I'm saying? Not especially when you know that she a good girl. You know what I'm saying? I know I done fucked up in life. I want to do better. This is a good better. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you're not better enough for me. So it's like, even though, you know what I'm saying,
and who are you?
I see, who am I?
Yeah.
The catch.
And why are you? Let's go. Can we go Kevin Samuels? We can go Red. Why are you a good catcher now? Why are you a good catch?
Because I'm an asset.
Why are you an asset? Because I don't hear nothing but a bunch of adjectives.
Because I'm a multiplier. So, like, I'm not no person that's like,
what are you
I'm not no person.
multiplying?
I don't need you to pick a bill. I don't need you to pay my bills. Okay. I don't need you to pay me. I don't need you to
you just said the same
support
thing
me
4 different ways, but okay.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But this is 4 different ways how it comes because they try to move into your shit. I don't need you to, I don't need you to drive my car. We're building together. So as far as that, if we're building it, that means I don't need you to be coming in as a liability to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So with some of these men, they have a lot of liabilities that they haven't even sifted out yet, but they see that you're an asset. So they're trying to hop on so they can build themselves up. But it's like, I need to come already ready. Like, I did already. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready.
My question to you is, if you have what you have going on, and you don't need men, and you don't feel a desire to have niggas, and you don't have a desire to have people in your life that are hitching their stuff to your wagon, why isn't that an easy way to tell them? Isn't that the easiest thing in the world to say?
That seems to be a little bit harsh, though.
But it's,
you understand? Because you know what?
Truth, though, right?
But with truth, you have to be still cognizant about how it's delivered. Because especially when you know that you're dealing with somebody with necessarily a mentality that's not as stable.
Chanel.
Yeah.
Let me just help you out because I can't take this conversation much longer. All you gotta say is I enjoy your company, but me and my ex, it looks like we're gonna get back together. And any dude ego is not gonna be hurt. Any dude it's almost like when a dude try to talk to you, and when girls hit you, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to somebody, and we know that's 50-50. Like you let either you might be talking to somebody, or you might just be letting me down easy because you ain't interested in talking to me. So if you just want to get out of that situation in a way that it don't mess with a man's ego and you can let him down easy, talk to him like an adult. Yo, I enjoyed our conversation, but truthfully, it looked like me and my ex are getting back together, and I don't want to, I want to put all my time and energy into that. And any nigga
with my life, we know that that's not a possibility of me and my ex, though. That's not a possibility. The ex ain't a possibility. I can say somebody else, but I can't say the ex. That's not a possibility.
What do you want to say?
Okay. I can't tell no lies now. I don't want to tell no lies. Why I gotta be a liar?
Well, then they can tell the truth.
Exactly. Rich told you to tell the truth, and you said no because you don't want to hurt his feelings. I told you a way to let him off the hook easy, and you don't want to lie. So take your pick.
I mean, the truth, but they know where I live at. So, you got to be mindful about people if they know what you're
saying. You niggas that go to Cincinnati box, and you don't have these problems.
Shut up. I ain't get up like the box.
Get up that Cincinnati box.
My bad.
Oh, God.
All right, let's get one more, Rich, and we call it a night. So let's make it good.
All right, Jasmine Rain. Your turn now, kid. Okay, Superstar Jazz said no. She declined. Tania Washington. Tania Washington. Antoinette. What's up, Antoinette? All right, Tania Washington didn't come in the room. Let's go with Kenado. Kenado, are you in there? Are you here?
Yeah, Rich, by any chance, while we waiting for people to come in, did you go to Mike's funeral?
Did I go to who?
Mike's funeral. Get him on, Mike, like the promoter?
Oh, no.
You didn't go?
I didn't go. I didn't go. I forgot you knew Mike. Yeah, we known Mike for a long time. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen. I see Alex around a lot, but I haven't seen Mike. He had just taken over Republic. Jody Brooks. Jody Brooks. All right, man. This is the fourth person. China, Sabrina Embra. Sabrina Graham. Sabrina Graham. Is Sabrina Graham in the room? All right, I'm pushing this on one more time. Shayla D. Shayla D. Shayla D in the room. Okay. So I'll do one more. Jody Rooks. Jody Rooks. Everybody saying it's 3 minutes to your dinner, Sean.
They know Sean Prez, boy.
Yo, we out of here. Sabrina's unable to join, so we done.
Okay, y'all know what it is. This episode will be up tomorrow on all of your favorite streaming platforms. So catch it on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music. So if you're at work, you don't want your boss to know what you're listening to, just throw that what is it, the AirPod in, and you know, the audio will be there tomorrow afternoon. It will also be on YouTube. So if you want to watch it, please go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe. It is the official Boys Club. Just hit in Rich Dollars, Sean Prez, and it'll come right up. And for everybody who's just starting to join this conversation week over week, our YouTube channel has all of our conversations going back to over a year ago at this point. So, you know, they're great conversations. They have evolved over time. So please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. 7:30 p.m. every single Wednesday night, and that's Eastern time. 4:30 p.m. every Wednesday night, and that is Pacific time. Peace and love to y'all. Rich, you got the last word.
Yo, once again, appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out with us for the last 2.5 hours. It's always a blast. Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. You know where we're going to be at. See you next week. All right, Sean.
Later, son. 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 Later,